Welcome to Quick Literature Academy. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more literature videos. Geoffrey Chaucer, around 1343 to 1400. Part 1. Medieval social theory held that society was made up of three estates: the nobility, composed of a small hereditary aristocracy whose mission on earth was to rule over and defend the body politic; the church, whose duty was to look after the spiritual welfare of that body; and everyone else, the large mass of commoners who were supposed to do the work that provided for its physical needs. By the late 14th century, however, these basic categories were layered into complex, interrelated, and unstable social strata, among which birth, wealth, profession, and personal ability all played a part in determining one's status in a world that was rapidly changing economically, politically, and socially. Chaucer's life and his works, especially the Canterbury Tales, were profoundly influenced by these forces. A growing and prosperous middle class was beginning to play increasingly important roles in church and state, blurring the traditional class boundaries. And it was into this middle class that Geoffrey Chaucer was born. Chaucer was the son of a prosperous wine merchant, and probably spent his boyhood in the mercantile atmosphere of London's wintry, where ships docked with wines from France and Spain. Here he would have mixed daily with people of all sorts, heard several languages spoken, became fluent in French, and received schooling in Latin. Instead of apprenticing Chaucer to the family business, however, his father was apparently able to place him in his early teens as a page in one of the great aristocratic households of England, that of the Countess of Ulster, who married to Prince Lionel, the second son of Edward III. There, Chaucer would have acquired the manners and skills required for a career in the service of the ruling class, not only in the role of personal attendant in royal households, but in a series of administrative posts. We can trace Chaucer's official and personal life in a considerable number of surviving historical documents, beginning with a reference in Elizabeth of Ulster's household accounts to an outfit he received as a page. He was captured by the French and ransomed in one of Edward III's campaigns during the Hundred Years' War. He was a member of King Edward's personal household. He took part in several diplomatic missions to Spain, France, and Italy. As controller of customs on wool, sheepskins, and leather for the port of London, Chaucer audited and kept books on the export taxes, which were one of the crown's main sources of revenue. He served as a justice of the peace and knight of the shire, the title given to members of parliament, for the county of Kent, where he moved after giving up the controllership. As clerk of the king's works, Chaucer was responsible for the maintenance of numerous royal residences, parks, and other holdings. His duties included supervision of the construction of the nave of Westminster Abbey and of stands and lists for a celebrated tournament staged by Richard II. Near the end of his life, Chaucer addressed a comic complaint to his purse, to Henry IV, John of Gaunt's son, who had usurped the crown from his cousin Richard, as a reminder that the treasury owed Chaucer his annuity. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next part.